And we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Toe the Line with me, George Glinsky. Today, delighted finally to be joined by Dan McGraffin, who fights Daniel Lerwell at BKB 26 on June 11th. Dan, how are we doing?
Happening, finally.
We've been talking about this for a while.
Yeah, we have. But the day has finally come.
How does it feel? How does it feel to be back? Obviously, you know, BKB 18, you were matched with Darren Hendry. You broke your hand, things fell through, you went off elsewhere, and now you're back in BKB.
Yeah, well, I'll explain that story now. So what actually happened was, on fight week, I got into a fight in the street with somebody, and I hit his tooth. And I just left it under the advice of Smudger. I glued it together and didn't say nothing. But obviously I didn't tell Jim and Joe the full story, because at the time I was like on a one fight contract. I was fighting Ducks Everyone Hendry, and I just thought I didn't want them to think what an arsehole. I didn't know how to take them or anything like that. So especially on fight week, it was like Tuesday of the fight week. So I just lied and said it happened on a bag. And then within 2 days later, like it was a fucking balloon, mate. Like this was like on the Friday, the day before. There was no way I was fighting. I wouldn't have got cleared to fight even if I tried to. Do you know what I mean? My hand was a balloon. But yeah, so that happened. And then after that, it was just a bit of, they weren't really getting back to us, to be fair. Jim wasn't getting back to us. Every time I was putting my name forward, there was a little bit of a fallout over it, and then I went elsewhere. Yeah, which was kind of a blessing in disguise, because I then done well for myself and got a few people's attention then, to the point where it's like, all right, then I do fit in this sport. Do you know what I mean? I do fit at the high level of the sport. And I just reached, I thought, I'm going to have to reach out to Jim. I weren't happy where I was at the FBA. They were letting Ducks Everyone Hendry duck everyone, as he does. So that was the fight I wanted, which I've wanted for a fucking long time, because I don't like the cunt. And they were just giving him muppets, people who've never won a fight before and stuff like that. So, and not only that, pay issues and other things. Like I was just totally wrong about the guy, if I'm honest. So I reached out to Jim, and I thought, yeah, this is going to go one way or the other. He's either going to tell us to fuck off, or he's going to hear me out. And thankfully, he heard me out, and here we are. Water under the bridge, back where I belong, on the big stage.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You've come from BFBA. You've had your 3 fights, 3 wins. You picked up a British and a European title fight. Do you feel like you needed that? Because, you know, you'd come in as a relative novice. You'd had limited experience in the unlicensed game, and then you come in this massive fight against Darren Hendry with his huge amateur pedigree. And, you know, you say it was a bit of a blessing in disguise. You come out of that fight, you get your experience, and now you're here fighting Daniel Lerwell with all that experience under your belt and looking like a, you know, legitimate contender now.
Yeah, well, at the time, this is probably why Darren took the fight at the time, because I've only been boxing 5 years. Do you know what I mean? The first time I put on a pair of gloves was the back end of 2016. So, like, and obviously just fell in love with fighting, and I'm a competitive guy anyway with everything I've done, but when it's just a different ball game fighting, isn't it? Like the feeling, win or lose at the end of it, it's just, you can't replicate that feeling anywhere else. So I just obviously fell in love with the game, but at the time there weren't much about of it apart from a couple of like ultra light collar fights where I'm swinging for the, do you know what I mean? There was barely anything online, and then I drifted off into MMA, knocked a few people out there, and then coming to bare knuckle, and now obviously a few people are taking me seriously now, because I've had some tough fights. Do you know what I mean? Like my last opponent was tough as nails, mate. Tough as nails. So I was going off topic there, but yeah. And here I am. But like I say, it was a blessing in disguise. I've now proved to a few people, but some people are still doubting us, to be fair. Mm-hmm. Some people are still doubting us, and let them. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've come in here, I got offered. Jim rang us. He said, listen, you can either have a tune-up fight, get your foot in the door on the big stage, a little 3-rounder, or you can go in for Daniel Lerwell, 7-round world title fight. It's like, fucking Lerwell. Do you know what I mean? there's no way I was taking a tune-up fight with that on offer. I'm like, the potential you're gonna bust your hands up and everything anyway. So what's the point? If I'm gonna bust my hands up, may as well do it for world title. Do you know what I mean? And no one else is taking the fight with him. You know what I mean? He's a dangerous guy. He's dangerous as fuck. So these are the sort of fights I excited. Do you know what I mean? Like, these get me up in the morning. These make me think, get me anxious, and like, you need to train, you have to do this. So I mean, other fights. My last fight with David Round, I only started a camp 5 weeks out. I was busy working down Essex for ages. I just weren't training at all. And then come back, I had 5 weeks and then got on to it. Whereas this one, I've had a full 8 weeks. Well, from when it got announced anyway.
What possesses you then? You come in on your BKB debut and you're offered that tune-up fight and you say, no, I want 7 rounds against the best guy in my division on the biggest stage in British bare knuckle boxing. What possesses you to do that?
Man, that's how legends are made, man. You know what I mean? I ain't got nothing to lose. Yeah, win, lose, or draw. I'm gaining the respect anyway, because, like, unless he puts me out in 30 seconds, do you know what I mean? Which, listen, I don't care how good they are. I'm not easy to put away. I'm not. Like, my best attribute is my chin, which everyone goes on about. I've been clocked loads of times, and it doesn't bother. It doesn't phase us. I'm not saying this is going to happen forever. Obviously, he's probably going to be the biggest puncher I've come across. But again, in my last bout, he was a heavy hitter. Like, in his previous bout, he snoozed a lad stiff, like stiffened up for like 5 minutes. Do you know what I mean? So I had the same sort of anxiety going into that fight. Like, what if I get knocked out? What if, like, but I'm not asked about getting knocked out. I'm not asked about taking a loss at all. I just want to be in the fight. Do you know what I mean? If I'm in an entertaining fight and the crowd love it, then I'm happy. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to be like a Sean George. Like, you win some, you lose some. Never in a boring fight. Do you know what I mean? Fights everyone. And I want to be like that guy. You know what I mean? But like I say, I do trust my chin. I do trust my chin. So
I was going to say,
it's not going to be an easy ride for him, and it's not going to be an easy ride for me. So
no,
it's going to be a good fight.
It is. It really is. You know, when this fight was announced, I was super excited, and it's just an incredible fight, and one I think that hardcore fans are going to really appreciate. People that know you, know Dan, they know that the fight that's going to unfold in front of their eyes. But you have that common denominator. You mentioned him just there, David Round. You fought him in your last fight. Now, I don't know how much you can read into it because it was quite a long time ago that Daniel Lerwell fought David Round, but they boxed. I think it was a cage boxing match to a draw. And you, I don't want to be disrespectful to David Round, but you destroyed him. You know, you knocked him down multiple times and finished him in that fight. So does that breed any confidence in you? I know it was a long time ago that Lerwell fought him.
Not at all, no. Like you say, it was a long time ago, and I've heard Lerwell took it on stupidly short notice.
Yeah.
You can see by looking at it, Lerwell's not in shape. I mean, it was a good fight. I watched that fight quite a few times on the build up to my fight with David, because he was an MMA fighter, isn't he?
Yeah.
85 pro MMA bouts. Like, everything I was watching was MMA, and he was kicking and he was catching the kick and come back with the right hand. So I couldn't take anything of that in because there was kicking involved. So I had to watch his and Lerwell fight over and over and over again to judge what he was like boxing. And I mean, yeah, don't no disrespect to David Round at all, but I do think Lerwell would beat him if they were to fight today. Okay. I don't think it would be the same fight at all. Like, David is tough as fuck, mate. Honestly, honestly, mate, he took some heavy shots off me. He took a few knees and stuff. But, mate, I was catching him like flush on the chin. I could see his eyes rolling back, and he's like stepping back. And, mate, I smashed his nose in on one of the first jabs I threw, and, mate, it's tough as nails, him, you know. So fair play to him, because, like I say, I hit him with some big shots, man, and it still took 3 rounds to get him out of there.
Definitely. So you talk about threats regarding Daniel Lerwell. His power's the key one that everyone points out. But what else do you have to worry about when you step in the ring with Daniel Lerwell?
He's an all right boxer, isn't he? He's decent. I just seen him put some footage up yesterday on the pads, and he looks fast. His hands look fast. So, I mean, I've got fast hands as well. 10 gloves off. Like I know everyone when I fought Ben Pickles, it barely looks like I even touch him because obviously the camera angle and the fast. This is what I say to everyone. I'm like, look, my hands are too fast for the camera to pick it up. You could see by the end of it, his eye socket was out here. Yeah. Regardless of what people say, that shot fucking landed. Yeah. That the right hand went straight through his guard and just smashed his face in. So I've got the hand speed and I've got the power. He's got the hand speed and he's got the power.
Yeah,
we both. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm a brilliant boxer because I'm not, and I don't think he's a brilliant boxer either. So we both like that sort of like we're good fighters. We're not technically skilled boxers, but we both bang. We both have fast hands, and we. He likes to counter a little bit, doesn't he? Which is like he's not going to run away. Put it that way. Like this is why I'm looking forward to BKB because it's a smaller ring, which suits me down to a T. Because in BFBA they had 16-foot rings. It was a big ring. That it was the biggest ring I've ever fought in, and David was just running around the edge of the ring. I felt like I was chasing him the whole time. But I don't. Lerwell's not going to fucking take a step back. He doesn't. He does his little lean back and counters. But he doesn't take a step back. So we're gonna fucking just gonna scrap it out in the middle, aren't we? Because I'm not going to say I'm going to box him, I'm going to do this, and because it's just a lie, isn't it? Everyone says I'm going to do this. Everyone has a game plan, especially in bare knuckle. And then as soon as you get fucking hit, it's fight or flight, isn't it? And you just, I don't know what it is with me. Something just fires in us, and that's it. I'm either going to knock you out or I'm going to get knocked out trying to knock you out. And I don't mind that. I honestly don't give a fuck about that. So long as I'm in the fight. Even when he fought like CJ Mills, you know what I mean? Like, everyone looks at that like, wow, what have you done to CJ Mills? But what a fucking first round that was. Do you know what I mean? Like, what? Like, even if that happened to me, I'm not asked. Like, because that was a mid fight. How exciting would that to be there live? How exciting would that have been?
More exciting to watch it than be in it, I'm sure.
Yeah, but you don't feel it when you're in it. Like, I don't know what the hell. Like, adrenaline's a powerful, powerful thing. Like, very powerful, and you just don't feel anything. I don't feel them shots. When David hit me with that slip right hand, he flashed us, but it didn't hurt. I don't feel anything. It didn't. My legs were still under his, like, was still there. I did get like a little poof, but I was fine within the second. Like, and if anyone was going to knock me out, there would have been that, because that was flush, man. It was flush on my chin. That good shot. That.
It's a buzz, isn't it? I mean, that's, you know, you're an adrenaline junkie. I know you well, Dan. I know that you love this type of fighting, but the style is going to be very different when you step into that BKB ring. Obviously, you mentioned the ring itself; it's a bit smaller, but also no clinch. The BFBA they tend to use the American style of rules, and they have a 10 count, whereas we have a 20 count. So how do you see those differences playing out when you get in?
Well, the 20 count's good because if he does do something damaging, I think the 20 count or the 18 count is a long time to. I mean, you can sit down, take a knee for like 15 seconds, and then get up. I mean, it's a long time. That, like I say, I got clocked and I was back to normal within a second. It was half a second, mate. You know what I mean? It was just one quick flash and then boom, back in the room instantly. I even started to counter off after he hit me with that and moved back. So my legs were still with us, my feet were still with us. Like, but the clinch, I didn't really like that clinch game anyway. To be fair, so that's good. But Lerwell does like to.
He does, yeah.
He does like to pull the head down and clock, and he's got away with it a few times. So,
is that a concern? I'll just cut you because people have said that in the past that they are worried about Daniel Lerwell doing that. I know that in the Mason Shaw fight just before the finish, he did get away with the clinch game. Is that a worry? You know, are you going to have a word with the referee just before the fight?
Well, it's Clive, isn't it? And Clive's on the ball with that. Clive's always says that no grabbing and holding. So I would go to Lerwell like, no grabbing and holding. I know he obviously don't mean to do it. Like it's just obviously that how he fights. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what his background is, whether or not he done that sort of stuff or MMA or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? But I know he obviously don't mean to do it. Sometimes you're in the moment, aren't you? You just but I like Lerwell anyway. There's no animosity or anything here. Like, I've been a fan of him for a long time, man. Since he since he come on the scene, really. Do you know what I mean? I've always watched BKB for fucking years, even way before I even started boxing. I was watching BKB, yeah, I've been a fan of his for a long time. So there's nothing there. I've got all the respect in the world for him. I just want a fucking good fight.
I'm sure it is going to be a good fight. And for those who are tuning into this, they haven't maybe seen you fight. They, for some strange reason, haven't seen Daniel Lerwell fight. What can we expect? Why should fans tune into the card, and why should they tune into your fight in particular?
Yeah, this has got fight of the night written all over it, man. Like someone, like I said, he's got a chin. You can't take anything away from him in his last bout, because I bet you he doesn't even know what happened there. He turned his back, didn't he? He turned his back, and Anthony Holmes, you protect yourself at all times, and that's where I see it stop. But so I don't know what really happened in there. I think he must have just been not with it and turned his back. I don't know, but you can't. Before that, he was taking some big shots before that, and he was fine. Do you know what I mean? You never see him get cut open. You never see like anything like that. And he does get hit. He's hittable, and I'm hittable. We're both hittable, and we both carry power. We're both quite similar, to be fair. We both carry power, so it's just going to be. I think there's going to be a lot of knockdowns.
Yeah.
Both of us will be getting straight back up again. Do you know what I mean? We're just going to stand and bang. That's what it is. You know, like I say, I'm not going to say I'm going to dance around and I'm going to use my footwork and want to do anything like that, because I'm not. When do I do that? If you watch my previous fights, I just storm forward. Sometimes my hands are down. And I'm just fucking going for it. I mean, like, we're going to get hit. We're both going to get hit. I think it's going to be a blinding fight, mate, honestly. I think it'll go like, I mean, I wouldn't like to say it's going to go 7 rounds, but it's a tough one, that. I mean, I've got it in the bank for 7 rounds. I have. I don't really want to go 7 rounds, if I'm honest. Like, your hands, mate, that's the problem. Hands. But I broke my hands in my last fight in the first round, and you can see in the second round, I'm right hand leading a bit because I broke my left hand. But then by the third round, I honestly couldn't feel a thing. And my whole arm was numb. And I remember it come out in that third round, it was like, sound. And then I just stopped going for it then, because I just couldn't feel a thing. So now I know, as weird as it sounds, if I break my hands, if I fucking keep throwing it, your brain switches off the pain eventually, doesn't it? Like it stops sending them pain signals, because you just keep, you know what I mean? And I've been through that now. I know what to do. So 7 rounds, it's a tough one, like, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very tough.
But he's not been 7 rounds either. He's only done 5, hasn't he, with Nelda?
He's been scheduled for 7 rounds. He hasn't gone 7 rounds. No. Yeah, longest he's gone is 5. So, but yeah, I mean, you've both got it in the tank. I highly doubt it's going to go 7 rounds, if I'm honest. I think someone's going to get knocked out. Either way, it's going to be an incredible fight. But just finally, before we sort of wrap things up, sponsors and thanks, just those people that have helped you on this journey and those that you want to thank coming into this fight.
Yeah, so I want to thank Jim and Joe, firstly, for taking me back.
Yeah.
And giving me such a fucking big opportunity on my first fight, which is pretty much unheard of half the time, isn't it? Unless it's a very last minute put somebody to get in.
Yeah.
Like this was the second bout they made.
Yeah.
Straight into that world title. Do you know what I mean? So I've done something right in the past organisation. So, but yeah, sponsors as well. But Pull for Construction, GSC Construction, Corrupt Sheriff, Motion Focus Media, Flying Pigs, Aztec Genetics, and the Strength and Fitness Lab in Wigan.
Awesome.
They're all my sponsors.
Yeah,
I had to write them down because I fucking forget all the time.
I was going to say, when you wrote it down, I was expecting a really long list.
I've just, my memory's a bit. But there's another one, like, which I don't know, unless you know me personally, I've battled with weed and drink for fucking a long time. The drink isn't as bad anymore, but the weed got to the point where I was dependent on it, smoking. I'm not going to go into how much, but way too much. Couldn't start my day without it. Couldn't fucking do anything without it. And I'm currently 3 weeks off it, which is aligned, nearly 4 weeks actually, 4 weeks on Saturday. It's aligned perfectly because I don't know why I stopped. It was just like, I need to stop me. I just stopped. So I stopped for 2 weeks and then I signed with BKB and I'm like, the timing on that was perfect. So this will be my first ever fight, ever, where I haven't smoked weed through the camp or drank. So I'm expecting a new me as well. Do you know what I mean? Probably a fitter me. I mean, it's never stopped us in the past. This is what my argument always was when people go, you need to stop smoking that. But it doesn't stop me training. It doesn't stop me winning. It doesn't do. I was smoking. I had a joint, a fat joint, because I get nervous, mate, and I'm not afraid to say it. Because if you don't get nervous, it's perfectly healthy, them nerves, isn't it? This is what like gets you going. Once you get in there, it's a switch. And I see that with Lerwell as well, because Lerwell's a proper nice guy, but you see him in there when he's in the corner and he's just staring. You can see he's switched off at this point, and he's in the mode. That's like what happened with me when I'm standing in front of them. I'm like, right, this is it. It's go time now. But yeah, no fucking weed for me. So who knows what I could do? Might be more switched on. I might don't know. But yeah, obviously saying, yeah, I had a massive joint, like about 2 hours. Well, I thought it was 2 hours before the fight, because it was a behind closed doors pay-per-view only fight round. I was supposed to be scheduled to fight at 11:15, and so I'm out about 8 o'clock. I'm having a big joint, just like sort of calming down over the next couple of hours. And as I walked through the door to come back in, the promoter was like, yeah, we're flying. It's just knockout after knockout. He's like, so you're going to be on in about 45 minutes time. I was like, oh, shit. So I was warming up with the course. I was like, mate, I'm blitzed. I was like, I can't believe I'm going out there like this. But as soon as I got hit, I was like, right, that's it. You sort of see a change in it after that. He clocks us about 30 seconds into the fight. And after that, I just fucking storm him after that. Like, but it was a good fight, that. I needed that fight as well. I needed to get hit. Because the previous 2 fights with Red Better and Pickles, between the both of them, didn't even last a minute.
Yeah.
So I hadn't been hit. I hadn't had that shot. So now I've had that shot. I'm like, yeah, I needed that. And he cut his little cut on the eye there. So yeah, I had a tough fight with David, but David's tough as nails, like I say.
So, you know, it's really exciting. It's genuinely really, really exciting to see you in BKB fighting in, you know, the number one competition in Britain, you know, the biggest stage there is against one of the best bare knuckle boxers of all time. I mean, I don't think that's stupid to say. So yeah, Dan, I'm really appreciative for you jumping onto this interview, and I can't wait for the fight, and I'll see you on June the 11th.
We'll see you on June the 11th. I can't wait. Yeah, sound. See you there, George.
Yeah, bud.